Hey, folks, my guest today is Emre Coxall. He's the founder of Data Anchor and a professor at Ohio State University. He received his PhD from MIT and has published more than 100 papers on top venues, along with having 8 patents issued. He's testified to the Congress, and among his awards include the NSF Career Award and HP Innovation Research Award, now building anchormydata.com, which enables data to protect itself. Emre, you ready to take us to the top?
Perfect. Thanks for having me, Nathan.
You bet. Okay, so talk to me a little bit. When a customer starts paying you or starts using you, what are they getting? What do you help them with?
So it is a kind of a move away from the traditional perimeter-centric model, which is basically about building castles, fortresses around your network, which we used to presume the activity around data is, right? But in today's world, the activity is everywhere. Data is everywhere. You're accessing your data from home, from your mobile devices, not just from the network. Also, it's in the cloud, IoTs, and so on and so forth. So what they get is, data security in the form of zero trust, integrated down to each file. So once you integrate security into data itself, as opposed to activity around data, what you get is basically security traveling with the data. You don't care where your users, your collaborators are accessing the data. It is secure anywhere. And, as a result, it simplifies your workflows. It simplifies collaboration and helps you become efficient without sacrificing from the security side.
I see. And when customers sign up for this, help me understand your pricing. What are they paying on average per month to use your technology?
So our MSRP is just like any SaaS product. It's based on per seat. So they're paying $16 per seat per month right now to get everything. So it's unlimited data. It doesn't limit the amount of data they protect. They can protect from one file all the way to the entire drives or all their data. We don't care the amount of data, but it's a user-based model.
And Emre, on average, when a team signs up for you, are they signing up one person, their CTO, or 100 people? What's the average number of seats?
So we have customers with a few thousand users. We have customers with 10 users. So it's highly variable. The value is basically, again, as I said, integrating the security to the data. But right now, the fastest growing customer vertical is small to mid-sized businesses because it's easy for them. You just switch it on within a matter of 90 minutes, including the user training. So I would say the largest customer segment is small to mid-sized businesses.
Okay, but help put a seat. I understand you have a small one at 10 seats and a big one at thousands of seats, but your sweet spot is what, 200, 300 seats on average?
That's correct. I would say 100 to 200 seats.
100 to 200 seats is sort of your sweet spot. Okay, got it. That makes sense. Let's put all this on a timeline. When did you launch the business? What year?
So the business foundation of the business was 2019. It took us 2 years to get the product to be very simple, transparent, fully transparent and integrable to any kind of platform. So we have literally kicked off our POC program, I would say last year. So we have been around distributing the product, signing partnerships, signing customers about for a year right now.
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your FounderPath dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right. So the teal is what a VC would pay, yellow is what private equity, and red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raised. They sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of FounderPath, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview. Okay, for a year. That's fantastic. How did you fund the business when you were pre-revenue for 2 years? Did you raise?
Yes, I did. We had a pre-seed round. There was quite a bit of interest. In fact, there were like 4 major VCs that funded our pre-seed round. And then we switched to a seed plus, what we call the seed plus.
Well, how much was the pre-seed?
The pre-seed was close to $1.5 million.
And that was in 2020?
That was in 2019. That was in 2019.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. And sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead. Keep going.
No, that supported our product development and getting the product to a level where it is so simple that it becomes a no-brainer to deploy. And after 2 years, we have raised the Seed Plus round, which is a little north of $3 million. Mm-hmm. And we are currently on that round, on that funding round. And we have validated the traction. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, got it. So you've raised 1.5 back in 2019. You currently have an open seed round or seed plus round that's around 3 million.
That's correct. Yeah, we have exceeded 3 million already. We have still opening for a few small checks.
How much would you raise at the current valuation? Obviously, you're managing dilution here. So how much room do you have left?
Correct. So we have, $250,000 more left.
Okay. So you're basically, and the 3 million is already wired. It's a done deal.
Right. Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay. Correct. So you leave a little bit open for maybe some strategic angels who come along or something like that, but it's pretty much done.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's where we are.
Okay, this makes sense. So about 4.5 million raised today, another 250K left on the current round. That's how you funded growth to date. Talk to me a little bit more about the team. This sounds like it should be very heavy engineering. How many folks are full-time today?
We have 15 folks full-time today and growing. So again, as you have mentioned, heavy on engineering and development. I'm coming from a technical background myself, which helps build a team. Train even the team from my academic background. Most of my students either become professors or get positions in Silicon Valley. But a few of them, based on their skills, they're both into our strategy and our targets, and they stay here at the heartland and contribute directly to us. So majority of the team is on the development side, technical side, but we are also growing on the business side, and we have made some very key hires lately on the business development and go-to-market side lately.
Emre, how many of the 15 are engineers?
So I would say 11 of them are engineers and 4 of them on the rest of the business and growth and customer support side.
I see. Now, talk us back to the special moment. You start selling in 2021. You get your 2020, 2021. You get your first customer. How did you land that first customer? Where did you find them?
Oh, it was great. So it is one of the largest, electric car charging organizations in the world, and we got the connection, and it became clear that the need that they have is in alignment with our value prop. So we had a few meetings with them, and like we have integrated to the platform that they are using, the cloud platform that they are using, and they have started using it. If kind of minor customizations, and then boom, they kicked it off, and it was a great moment. It was a great moment. Like that first check was really special. I mean, to this day, I keep it.
What was the size of that check? Do you remember?
So they were paying quarterly, and they started with like a small number of users. So the first check for that quarter was, I believe, around $2,000.
That's awesome. Okay, so that's your first customer. Fast forward to today. How many total customers are you working with?
So we signed very quickly right now. We are over 30 right now. I believe it's 32, 33 customers right now. We are in the logo generation and quick feedback mode. And by the way, we also sell through partners. That's our main go-to-market model. These include not just, reseller, MSP, MSSP partners, but also other tech partnerships as well. And we have more than 20 partnership agreements active to this date.
And so how do those work? You're paying them a kickback per $16 seat they sell?
Yes, based on licenses that they sell, depending on how they want to join the support model, some of them are highly sophisticated, meaning they can not just deploy and sell, but also support the customers subsequently. So that's a different model. That's more like in alignment with MSP, MSSP model. But some of our partners are resellers, help with the sales, and say maybe take the first call, but the support is on us in that situation.
I see. So the folks that are reselling, if they sell, a $10,000 a year contract, what are you paying them? 30% or something is pretty standard.
Correct. Yeah. Between 30 to 40%. That's right.
Okay. And is it 30 to 40% every year in perpetuity or just for year one?
So it's in perpetuity. So for resell and MSSPs. So that's an interesting question, because we also have here and there some referral partnerships. For referral partnerships, just like, hey, meet this guy. I think they solve your problem. And that's it. We handle the rest of it. It's not perpetual, but for the rest of our partners, it's perpetual.
I see.
Because there's some effort also needed to kind of renew the contracts and so on and so forth. So they are helpful in every stage of the way.
I see. And you mentioned earlier, so the average team is signing up 100 seats. I mean, is that true of your 33 customers today? On average, there's about 100 seats per customer?
On average, yes, but there's high variability, as I have mentioned.
Yeah. Like but there's about 3,300 total paid seats, though. It sounds like something like that.
Correct. That's correct.
3,300. Yeah. But it sounds like, again, there's a lot of concentration, because you mentioned some of your customers have over 1,000 signups. So one customer makes it more than a third of your total business right now.
That's good. So there's indeed, like, there's elephant, there are mice, and depending on the size, there's like a heavy-tailed distribution, as you have mentioned.
That's awesome. Now, if we take 3,300 paid seats at $16 a seat, it would put your revenue at about $50,000 a month right now in revenue. Is that about right?
So that's about right. But again, as I said, we are like a partner-based model. And early on, until we came up with the current pricing model, we had tried different pricing models. So it's a little lower than that amount right now.
I see. So maybe more like 30,000 a month, something like that.
Perhaps, yeah. I mean, on average, like, we are at that, I would say lower six-digit ARR level right now. And again, the current round has been about the former round, and as we move on to the current round, we have been more about addition of logos, getting feedback, and establishing traction, which we have achieved. I'm also proudly stating that we have zero churn thus far.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. Now, if you're help us understand growth. If you're at about 30,000, 40,000 a month today in revenue, where were you exactly 1 year ago?
Oh, very close to zero, right? Very close to zero. So we have literally kicked off our POC program and started maturing it last year. So it's like 2021. So we were very close to zero at that point. Maybe one or two customers were onboarded at the time. But we really kicked things off in, I would say, at the end of summer 21, all the way to here, like this third quarter. Mhm.
And then before we wrap up with the famous five, last question here. Most folks today raising seed, they're selling somewhere around 20% of the business. Are you sort of in that same range?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
it's fairly typical. Because I mean, one thing to note about that though is the current round that I'm raising is convertible note based. So we are definitely targeting that percentage
Well,
of
is
the
it
pie.
uncapped? Is it uncapped or capped?
It's capped. It's
Okay, so
capped.
it's
We
capped
have an
around a 15, around a 12 or 15 million cap, something like that.
right now is 8 million
Oh, okay,
value.
okay.
So
Okay, 8 million cap. So I mean, you're selling a very large chunk then. I mean, you're selling 35% of the bit. That's a lot of dilution.
that I mean, one would think that way, but everybody is on board right now for the long run, and we are here to make the team successful, make the organization successful. Everybody is on board, and as we onboard highly strategic, very important investors, everybody is ready to take the proper haircut as we move forward with
And are you the sole founder or you have a co-founder?
I have a co-founder, so
Okay.
yeah.
And were you guys you split it evenly at the beginning or was it lopsided?
Well, no, it's different. I'm the main founder. He's the co-founder. So he was my former student. We started building the technology together. Then, I have moved forward to, found the company, and he joined us a few months later. But so it's like a founder co-founder kind of a separation.
Understood. So you own, 60, 70% the majority,
Right.
he owns less, and then you've been diluted with the 2 rounds so far.
That's
I
absolutely
see.
correct.
Very cool. Impressive no churn. You're 33 customers. You're on a tear here. We're excited for you. Let's wrap up with the famous 5. Number 1, favorite book.
Favorite book is actually there are many favorite books. I have been pleasantly surprised with David Lindley. I don't know if you have heard of David Lindley. He's a physicist from UK, and basically he's authored a fantastic book on the universe. The Dream Universe is the name of the title of the book by David Lindley. And I love what brain minds have gone through toward understanding like the mechanisms of the universe, and that's my new favorite book.
Great. Amr, we're out of time here, so rapid answers if you can. Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
CEO that I'm studying. So, there are some classical answers to that. The answer would be no. But
Okay.
Elon Musk basically lately said, hey, you should, what you should focus on as a CEO these days have shifted. He's basically rightfully saying it's mostly on spreadsheets and finances. You should focus more on building the best product that's out there. And I have been, sympathizing with that position quite a bit.
Got it.
So I'm taking that as a motto to my.
Got it. Makes sense. All right. One word answer on this one. Favorite online tool.
Favorite online tool. We are using Miro quite a bit.
Miro. Good. Number 4. How many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Say it again. Sorry.
How many hours of sleep every night?
Oh, that's a very tough question. I would say around 5.5 hours.
Okay, fair. And what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
I'm married. I have 2 daughters, 8 and
Great.
12.
That's awesome. And how old are you?
I am 46.
Last question. Something you wish you knew when you were 20?
Something I wish I knew. It's a long journey. So it's never too late for anything. So it's a long journey. Take your time, digest, and basically, a year. If you have a task, if it lasts for a year longer, it's not a big deal. Just make sure that it's done perfectly.
Guys, Anchor My Data helps keep you more secure. He has many patents. He's ex MIT. He's got the engineering chops. 15 folks on the team. Majority, 11 of them are engineers. They passed $2,000 a month in revenue about a year ago. Now over $30,000 a month across 33 logos that pay on average $16 per seat. They on average sign up with call between 100-ish seats. But biggest customer has over 1,000 seats on the platform. Their first customer he landed was Backcaught in late 2020, which was an electric car charging effectively company. Now scaling nicely with a $3 million seed round. They're closing right now at an $8 million cap so they can hire some key additional hires and continue to drive past 33, 50, 60, 100 logos. All right, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thanks, Nathan, for having me. My pleasure.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.